Today, we're going to talk about how to optimize your roofing website for conversions. I'm excited to be able to share this information with you guys. So what we're going to cover today is the 5 critical elements to enhance conversions on your website, where to place your phone number, your social proof, all of those important conversion factors. And then a simple trick to convert your visitors that don't call on that first visit. So if you don't know me, my name is Jim Aline. I'm the co-founder of Roofer Marketers. And why would you spend an hour of your week with me around this topic? If for those of you that don't know me, I am the co-author of 2 books, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors and The Best Known Roofer. We're members of the NRCA. I'm the host of the Roofing Success podcast. I speak at most of the industry events. I was just speaking at the IRE. I'm on the marketing panel and speaking at Win the Storm coming up. And we do this. I'm the co-founder of a marketing agency called Roofer Marketers, which we do this every day for roofing companies, right? We do digital marketing for roofing contractors every day, all day. So to kind of give you guys an overview of our principles, our philosophy at Roofer Marketers, we really focus on 3 main principles. The first principle there is to maximize the opportunity for your roofing company to generate a lead online, a phone call, a message, a form submission. The second is to maximize your brand impressions to your perfect customer, because the more they see you, the more likely they are to buy from you, the more trust that builds. And then the third is to maximize the conversions of all the different avenues of your digital marketing. And so today we're going to talk about conversion rate optimization for your website specifically. There's always a big problem in marketing, and there could be multiple problems in marketing. One of those might be that you feel that there is a big investment in marketing, right? In the roofing industry, contractors spend on average about 5% of their gross revenue towards their marketing. So, if you're running, a $1 million company, that's $50,000. If you're running a $10 million roofing company, that's $500,000 in marketing spend every year. So that's a huge investment at whatever level of roofing company you have, right? There's a big investment in that. And even with that investment, a lot of times there's a lot of traffic, but there's not enough leads from the traffic that you're getting. And that leads to a low return on investment, right? And that's, in all of your marketing investment, your focus is on that return, right? Marketing is not a cost, it is an investment. So we want to really dial that in. And so a lot of companies fail with their marketing because they don't generate enough leads for their investment, and then that inhibits their growth. So that's what we're going to work on today, is one of those avenues. There's a lot of ways that a lot of conversion rate optimization that you can work on, whether that's through if you're Google pay-per-click advertising, there's a lot of cool things you could do there to maximize your conversion rates. Your Google My Business listing, there's a lot of cool ways to optimize that. Your Facebook ads, your social media posts, all of these things have ways to optimize your conversion rates. But today we're going to focus in on the website, right? And having a great website that's built to convert those visitors into callers. Websites should be built for 2 purposes, right? The first is SEO, search engine optimization, to show up in Google. If no one is able to find your website, if no one sees your website, you're not going to have a conversion rate problem, right? So you need to build it for SEO first, but then even if you're ranking well in Google, if no one is making a call to your company from that website, it's worthless also, right? So there's a great balance there in your search engine optimization and your conversion rate optimization. So a website should be built for SEO and then built to consistently convert those visitors into leads. And doing this creates momentum and consistent growth in your roofing business, right? And so what success looks like at the end of this is your phone ringing, right? Your salespeople closing, your crew's busy, and your business booming. Make sure I see everyone on here. Cool. All right. So really, in all of your digital marketing, your website is the hub. No matter what you're doing, people are going to visit your website. You know, if you're doing a lot of social media activity, people are going to go and look at your website. You know, if you're canvassing and door knocking, those people are going to look you up and go and look at your website. It's kind of the central area of where people are going to go. They may not look at your Facebook page or your Instagram page, but they will visit your website, right? They may visit your social media profile. They may look at your home advisor listing. They may look at your YouTube channel, but they will go and look at your website to make sure that you are a reputable company to work with. And when they're going and looking at your website, conversion rate optimization is extremely important. It will increase the amount of revenue that you generate through your roofing business, right? So in scenario one here, you have 500 visitors per month to your website. If you converted 5% of those visitors to phone calls, that would get you 25 calls or leads. At a 30% conversion rate on your sales process, that's 7 jobs. You know, your average profit on that is $2,500. That's $17,500 to the bottom line of your business. But if you can increase that conversion rate just up to maybe 15%, that's 22 jobs with $55,000 of revenue, of profit for your roofing business. So how does this happen, right? How do we focus on this and make sure that we are making sure our websites are converted? We started working with a company here in Minneapolis. We're here in Minneapolis, Prominent Construction, back in 2015. When we started working with them, they were a newer company. They were just 3 years in business at the time. They had put together their phase 1 website, right? The phase 1 in business, in my opinion, is do something, right? Make sure that you have a website. Maybe it's not the best website, but make sure that you have a website. So that's what they did, right? And they tried their best. They had some trust factors and things like that. They had their phone number kind of hidden up here in the right-hand corner. And then what we did is we took that and we built them a brand new website with all of the conversion optimization factors that I'm going to share with you today, and really brought it to a place where the visitors of the website, their perfect customers, are really brought into and see themselves and their issues being solved by visiting that website, by what they're seeing and reading on that website. And what that does for them is leads to phone calls, right? Calls, they have very consistent lead flow from their website. So I'd like, if anyone wants to drop in the chat, why is getting your website built to convert important to you? It's nice for me to sit here and speak into the internet, but I'd love to, get some interaction here. Drop in chat why, or Wayne, I see you got your video on, feel free to unmute, and just say, why is this important for you?
Yeah, I think the importance of a website, like you said, is that hub, and to get that optimized because of the hub nature, as you mentioned, is so key. Because, yeah, and this, I'm probably just repeating exactly what you're saying, which is just, you know, social media be it what it is, but once it comes down to the next step in the buyer's journey, or
Yeah,
you know, you're going to go to the website at some point, and
you're
so
gonna go
having,
through the website. Yeah,
yeah, so
that's what it's what we all do, right? It's not abnormal. This is what we do, right? This is how we buy it. Like you mentioned, the buyer's journey, right? The way that people buy, this is where they go. So, and different people on this webinar and listening to the replay maybe in the future is that, you're maybe in different phases of your business, right? And sometimes just having something is important. But once you have something, now you really want to start focusing in and dialing in how you can get your website to convert. So how can we get your website to convert, right? How can we get your website to convert? Optimizing your website is the most important thing for maximum conversion and lead flow. And so while we're going through this, we're going to start with the 10 critical elements to enhance your website conversion. And in that, we're going to start with getting the basics in order. So the basics in website development are people's eyes. The way that we read websites is in a Z pattern, right? So we start from the upper left-hand corner and our eyes move across to the upper right-hand corner, and then down back across the page, and then back to the right again. And it's this Z pattern that has been tested time and time and time through all kinds of heat mapping on websites, not just us, all over the internet, with many different types of websites. And in that Z pattern, by having our eyes move from left to right, in that upper right-hand corner is where you put your phone number. That's where our eyes pause. So having your phone number in the upper right-hand corner in nice big font, right? Making sure that it's clickable, making sure that it's very easy for people to find there. That's just a very simple thing. It amazes me how many companies play hide and seek with their website or with their phone number. Like, why would you do that? This is what you want. Your website, you have a website for people to be able to contact you. Make it as easy as possible. Ensure there's easy access to an online web form, right? Some people may be surfing the web at work. They're not able to make a phone call to you right away. So having a little schedule free estimate button or schedule free inspection, get a quote, however you want to word it, having a button for that also, and maybe in multiple locations along that Z pattern. Adding credibility and authority symbols. People, no matter how crazy it is, sometimes people trust the Better Business Bureau. They trust Angie's List and Home Advisor and those brands that were built. And so if you are a preferred, or if you're a preferred contractor with Owens Corning or GAF Master Elite, or if you're an ICO Roof Pro, Craftsman Premier or something like that, put that right there. Make sure that people understand that credibility. Ensure you have a clear call to action on every page and throughout the website that speaks to them and tells them exactly what you want them to do next. Put a 1 in chat if that makes sense, right? We want to make sure that we're telling them what we want them to do, right? We want them to make a phone call to us, to submit a form or to chat with us on the website. Make sure that if you have any special offers, you can have special offers that match maybe the season, maybe the specific roofing system. Maybe you have a special offer on around metal roofing. Put that on the metal roofing page, right? Speaking to that person who's visiting for that. Making sure your website is optimized for mobile. It's 2022, guys. These things are in our hands, pretty much most of the day, unfortunately. Make sure your website, and make sure when it's mobile optimized, it has a click to call button, right? Just making it easy for people again. And then having a multi-step contact form engages customers to finish the form and give you their information. The next thing that we want to do is give clients the option to book online or have a phone set up to automatically contact them if they submit that request. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. We want to speak to our target avatar. We want to the language on our website needs to speak to our perfect customer. They have to see themselves and their issue being resolved within the language or video of on your website. Be authentic using real images of your team on the homepage, about page, throughout the website. Sure, you guys have seen the guy in the yellow or orange hard hat who's up on an asphalt shingle roof hanging a picture. Have you seen that one? Like the guy with the nail, and he's like that is not authentic to roofing. That's not authentic to your brand, to your customers. People buy from who they know, like, and trust, right? So showing the authenticity of your business will help with that. Using video and multimedia to engage in different modalities. So having maybe a website welcome video, videos for your services, explaining why someone should contact you versus the competition. Leverage social proof. Showcase your online reviews on your homepage with review tools and have a link to let them see more of them. So pulling in reviews from Google, from Facebook, from all over the web, building that social proof. People trust online reviews as much as a recommendation from a friend or family member. It's crazy, but that's how we buy these days. I just bought a luggage cart on Amazon about an hour ago, and because we're going down to win the storm, and I need a cart to pull around some of our trade show stuff. And I pulled up three different luggage carts, and then I went and looked at the reviews. Oh, this one had 42 reviews with like a 4-star rating, and the next one had like 160 reviews with like a 4 point something star rating, and then the third one had 1,680 reviews with like a 4.7 rating. I didn't even read the reviews. I just pressed buy. Right? That social proof is so impactful. So what is the one element that will have the biggest impact on the results in your overall marketing efforts is how you optimize for conversions, right? That website optimization, getting people from the visit to the phone call. So how many people here feel that their website is optimized for conversions? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel your website is optimized. Put a 2 in the chat if you feel that it's not well optimized. And if anyone would like to have a live review of your website, drop your URL in the chat, and I'd be happy to pull it up and we could walk through and talk about some things that might be. We got Zoe has a 1.5, Zoe and Jarrett. Wayne is a 2. So if you want, if you guys want, Wayne or Zoe, drop your website URL in the chat, and we'll, we could walk through it. Be happy to walk through that for you. So one of the things that it's a good phrase, and I saw a very similar post from if anyone knows Chuck Thoke from Top Rep. He's the vice president of sales over at Able Roof, Mr. Roof, and he trains salespeople. But there's a very similar quote to him. I saw he posted one of these online recently. But if you can see through Joe Jones' eyes, if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys, right? So understanding the language that makes a connection with your prospect, right? That is the most important. Like having the buttons and the phone numbers in the right place is definitely impactful. But the language that gets them to actually take action, that puts them themselves in your language, right? They see that their problem is going to be solved. That is where the power is in doing this. So in doing this, we start with building what is called a customer avatar. Within a customer avatar, there are four main things that we focus on. The first are the pains and frustrations of that customer, the goals and desires, the fears and implications, the dreams and aspirations, right? So when we're thinking about this person and developing the language for your website, these are the most important components of that. So in that, let's go through like kind of a standard avatar for maybe a retail residential homeowner. In developing customer avatars, you may have multiple customer avatars for your business. You may have a residential retail homeowner customer avatar. You may have a customer avatar for someone who would buy a metal roof. You may have a customer avatar or you would have a separate customer avatar maybe for commercial roofing. And within that, maybe a customer avatar for commercial roof maintenance, and then a customer avatar for commercial roof replacement. Maybe another for new builds, right? New roof build, like going after GCs and things like that. So all of these different people have different demographics, different pains and frustrations, different fears, different desires. So this, for example, is the demographics of a retail residential roof replacement, a homeowner, 35 years of age or older, typically female, occasionally male, married, 2 to 3 kids, head of household, maybe an annual income of $65,000 plus. They're family oriented, they're reliable, they're easily frustrated. They like to please people. They expect the same in return. So they want good service. Maybe they live in the suburbs, an upper middle class neighborhood. They take an interest in their community. And in that, when they are having an issue with their roof, they have specific pains and frustrations. Some of those pains and frustrations are very simple, right? Their roof is damaged, aged, needs replacing. They need to get someone out immediately to inspect and get a quick estimate. Maybe they found a leak, the things like that. They need to get the issue resolved. They're too busy to deal with it. They're worried that the situation in the house could be too costly and cause permanent damage. So those are some pains and frustrations. They have fears. They have the fear of being ripped off or overcharged. They have a fear of paying too much for something that they could have gotten elsewhere cheaper. right? They have a fear of choosing the right contractor and what the different prices are. They have a fear of having their home damaged to faulty workmanship, right? Every local area has I remember I lived out in Denver for a while, and it was Tom Martino, the troubleshooter. And if you took grandma's money, you're going to be on the news. And there's so many of those stories of contractors, ripping people off or having their home damaged. Another thing is having to wait around for an estimator to arrive, or being inconvenienced trying to coordinate with the roofing company. Another fear is that it's going to be more than they can afford, right? Then we have goals and desires. Their goal is to get the roof fixed or replaced, have the issue behind them, have a well-kept home, take care of their family, keep their kids healthy, happy, successful, spend more time with family, travel, have fun, have the respect and approval of their friends, family members, neighbors, and have peace of mind. So in understanding this is really how we develop the language that converts those visitors into phone calls. If you are not speaking to the fears and implications of that person, you will not get the phone call. So messaging that works, right? Explaining to them in this instance that they're going to get an estimate in 24 hours. We are prompt. We are on time, right? You're giving that impression that, hey, we can fix this problem. They have a fear of not being able to afford it. So expressing your financing options, right? Expressing that puts them and makes them understand, well, I know we don't have 12 grand in the bank, but if we could get a loan for this, we can do this. If we can finance this, we can do this. Having messaging about being a trustworthy and experienced team, that those contractors that perform faulty workmanship and damage your home further, we are not that contractor. We have an extremely experienced team. We've done hundreds of roofs or thousands of roofs. You can express that to make them feel comfortable. Lifetime warranties. How much more trust can you put to someone in saying, hey, we're going to be here, right? Because that's one of the big things that people start thinking about. It's like, man, if something happens, is this company going to be around to fix it? So, hey, we're going to give you a lifetime warranty. That should give you peace of mind that we will be here if anything happens, right? That you're local to the area, that you're not a fly-by-night company. In a lot of storm damage restoration markets, you got, people pop up and go away, and, it happens a lot. But being able to express, hey, we're here, we're going to be able to solve your problem. And if you ever have issues in the future, we'll be able to do that. So speaking to your ideal customer, right? We are an elite local roofing company serving the Minneapolis and Twin Cities metro, experienced, licensed, insured professionals, best industry warranties, affordable, no money down interest financing. Can you see how that can speak to those fears that the customer is having? Being real and authentic, right? Making sure that this is Justin and Chad, right? These are the owners of Prominent Construction. These are, we're going to be here. We are local. These guys look like a couple of Minnesota boys, right? They're also members of the NRCA and National Association of Remodeling Industry. Leveraging video and multimedia, people really consume video content on a greater level these days, and a very good example of that is the rise of TikTok. Right? We went from text communication with Facebook and Twitter to then adding in images, and then Instagram came along, and it was very image-based social media. And then Snapchat, came in, and then Instagram started putting in videos, And now TikTok came in, and it's just these short little video clips. The average consumption per day on per TikTok user is 54 minutes on those little short videos. So leveraging video is extremely important. It allows for a few things. It allows for the visitor to actually meet you, right? To understand who you are a little bit, to see your face, to understand your brand and your message. It's very, very important going into 2022. Again, leveraging social proof, right? Bringing in those great reviews that you have from around the internet and showing them, because they may have went to your Google My Business listing or your Facebook page and they saw those reviews, but they're, like we talked about earlier, they're coming back to that website, right? They are coming back to that website, and we're kind of combining all of those factors and putting them all together on your website. We're going to use special offers that match the services that they're interested in, right? Like we talked about, if you're talking about commercial roof maintenance, having an offer specific to that and speaking to that on that page within that content is very important. If you do metal roofing or tile or stone coated steel or whatever the specialty product, or maybe it's, that you have a spring special or free something with this, right? Limited time discounts, free add-ons, free upgrade to an architectural shingle, anything that can convert that visitor and get their contact information. Encourage them to call you. Money off, always, people like money off. Making sure that it's mobile friendly, like we talked about. This number is probably more because this slide is over a year old probably now. So 4.8 billion people on mobile phones. 3 out of 5 consumers search for local businesses on their phone. Google reports that 46% of mobile consumers turned to a competitor's website because of a bad mobile experience. Think about how you search, right? If you're looking through websites and you get to a website and it's just not what you're looking for, or it takes a long time to load, or if it's challenging to navigate, you leave. It's that simple. Having a click to call button, right? On all of the websites that we build, we make sure that there is a click to call button that is sticky. What I mean by sticky is it stays in the same place as they scroll. So no matter where they're scrolling on the page, there's always that click to call button, right? It just stays right there. They don't have to go back up and find the phone number or the estimate button. And then we use what are called long forms. If anyone is familiar with Zillow, the real estate valuation website where you go and find out how much your home is really not worth, because it's probably not very accurate anyway, but they perfected this, what are referred to as long forms. We used to always have those forms that was like multiple contact fields per page. And now you have this big long, form, and people look at it and it's daunting. And they're like, man, do you really need all of that information? I'll fill that out later. So we go to long forms, which are less overwhelming. So it's asking them one question at a time. What is your name? What is your email address? What, are you looking for repair, replacement, things like that? What's your zip code? And then what's your phone number? And in creating that, by going through that form, you pretty much eliminate all spam that you have from these forms, because the bots don't fill them out. And there is more skin in the game when the person gets to the end and clicks go. And when that happens, you're going to have a better conversation. You're get a better person on the phone. So some key ideas around that. Add real, authentic images of your team on your homepage and throughout your website. The About Us page is the second most visited page on your website. I'm going to say that again. Your About Us page is the second most visited page on your website. So when you have an About Us page, it's very important to showcase your team, right? To showcase yourselves. I'll show you prominence here. I'll just bring up theirs. When we go to the About Us page, there's a picture of every person on the team, right? There's a little bio of every person on the team. About Us is the most important. It's the most important. Meeting the team, right? Being authentic to your brand. Telling the story of each of your people, right? Where they're from, what they like to do. Antonio alike and understands the importance of community. With his knowledge of the industry and positive enthusiasm, you're sure to get a tough roof built on the first time, right? That's speaking to all of these, each of these people and bringing out their brand. Making sure that you create that authenticity, right? Adding video elements to your website is, like we talked about, is extremely important. Showcasing your online reviews, another extremely important thing. Getting the basics in order. Let's go to prominent again, right? Look at the Z pattern, right? It's just how we read. So here going across, boom, our reviews, schedule free estimate, call us now. We come back from that Z pattern, schedule a free estimate. Here's some trust factors, right? They're Mastic Elite, they're OC Platinum Preferred, BBB A+ rating. It's bringing those elements and showcasing that. Showcasing your online reviews, right? As they scroll down the page, you know, why customers would choose you, right? Speaking to them, speaking to their fears. Hundreds of 5-star customer reviews, bringing some of those in. Hey, let's read all of our reviews if you like, right? So getting a quote now, making sure that that you're asking them to do what you want. Hey, book an appointment, schedule your free roof inspection. Making sure that we're putting in all of those elements, right? The basics in order, phone number in the upper right-hand corner, a web form that they can fill out, credibility symbols. Updating the calls to action on each page to ensure that they speak to the customer avatar, leveraging offers like we talked about, having live chat on your website, right? Some people won't call. So having live chat is extremely important. Offering clients to book online, you know, hey, book now, free automatic form. So how well is your, we already asked this a little bit, but you know, how well is your website optimized for conversions? How about in the chat, drop in, you know, 1 or 2, 3 things that you could work on, that you think that you could help, that would help impact the conversion rate on your website in the next 30 days. We have a light crowd today. No one wants to talk to me. Everyone has cameras off. Everyone's busy. We must be moving into roofing season. Almost. Not here in Minnesota. It is still very, very much winter here. So, all right. social proof. Wayne said that video, real important, right? Like, and it's very simple things that you can do that make huge impacts on that day to day. So we talked about this. Now we get to speak to how to impact those visitors and convert more into of those visitors who did not call you that first time. This is kind of some secret sauce here, right? It's done through Google display advertising and Facebook ads, through retargeting and remarketing. So when they visit your website, it's the ads that follow them around until they follow you, until they call, right? And it's happened to all of you. You have visited a website, and all of a sudden you go to check the weather, and there's an ad for that company. You go check the scores, there's an ad for that company. My dad texted me a couple of months ago. He was like, hey, I'm playing solitaire on my phone and there's an ad for your company. Is that expensive? Right? So things like that are so impactful. If you guys, I promise you, Wayne, Renee, Danny, Jason, Zoe, if you guys visit our website, you will not stop seeing my smiling face forever. Promise all of you. And it's because it has a significant impact on the conversion rate of website visitors, right? And so you guys can do the same. It's the Google Display Network, and it's Facebook ads. There are two things. We refer to it as a pixel. We refer to it as a pixel or cookies, right? So you put Google Ads code on your website, and you put your Facebook ad code on your website, Facebook's pixel on your website. And then as people visit your website, Google and Facebook start to log those visitors, the ones that they have information for. And so they start to create this list for you. And once you get to a certain amount of people, each has their different, you have to have a minimum audience to do a retargeting campaign for. And once you get to that minimum audience, now you can start putting these ads in front of people. So, for example, if we, let's look at Facebook ads library. For example, this ad might come up if you visited Prominent's website. Hey, have you scheduled your free estimate? It only takes 15 seconds, right? It's very simple it's a very simple communication. Or how about you visited our website and forgot to book your free inspection, right? So you can put the language in there because you know that they had visited your website. So in doing this, it's that reminder that it just keeps reminding them, right? That you put your brand in front of them over and over and over again. In advertising, they call it the rule of 7. It's very big, kind of a very important rule in television advertising. And in television advertising, they call it the rule of 7. And the theory behind it is, until someone sees your brand 7 times, they don't even recognize it, right? So if they have to see the commercial 7 times to go, oh, I recognize that. And so the more times you can be in front of your perfect customer, the more times they're wanting, the more likely they are to call you. In the roofing industry, it's why we put yard signs in. It's why we wrap trucks, right? It's why we have catch-alls that are branded and equipters that are branded. And, it's why we knock the doors of the neighbors. It's all to increase the brand awareness of your company, to make those customers comfortable with calling you, developing that trust that you're not that fly-by-night contractor, that they don't have, that you are alleviating the fears of them not trusting you. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'd be happy to look at any websites, answer any questions. If you want to unmute, go ahead and unmute, or drop a question in the chat. Either way, if you want to find out more about how we can help your roofing business, become the best known roofer in your area, give us a call directly, 855-799-1252. Go to roofermarketers.com/apply. You'll get to see our worst case scenario. If you go to our website, you get to see me all the time on our remarketing ads. So that'll be good for you. And if you haven't listened, if you haven't tuned in, check out the Roofing Success Podcast. It's where I interview successful roofing contractors and industry experts on things that they've learned, the lessons they've learned, the things that they've done right, the things that they've done wrong, all to help you guys succeed in roofing. So if there's any questions, feel free to unmute or feel free to drop it in the chat. Stick around here for a couple of seconds. If not, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, all right, Wayne. Email follow-up or offering a buyer's guide. Great. Okay, so Wayne has a great question on visitors that don't convert. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do out there nowadays, right, with visitors that don't convert. So if non-buyers, sending them an email, right, on follow-up or offering some kind of a buyer's guide, I think that's awesome. One of the challenges you're going to face there is, how do you get their email if they just visited your website, right? Well, welcome to technology. Get emails is a pixel that will capture that customer's email, right? It won't capture every visitor's email, but it will pull some of them. We also, one of the things that we do as a marketing, we integrate with Dope Marketing. If you guys have heard of Dope Marketing, they have a website pixel that gets their email address and physical address to, then you could send emails to them and direct mail to them. So fun stuff. Is automation important through a CRM? Yes. So we have a CRM called Contractor Boost.ai that we use. So now, you could have a sales pipeline here. All of these things coming in, Danny, are very important. So automation is extremely important. So let me show you an example of automation. Somebody submits a form from a Facebook ad. We create an opportunity in the sales pipeline. If it's during business hours, we'll create an internal notification to your team, and then we call you on that form submission. Hey, you have a new Facebook form lead. To connect with Wayne, please press 1. Your company presses 1, it does an outbound dial to the number that they put in the form. If they answer, you're on the phone with them in 20, 30 seconds. If they don't answer, this is where that automation kicks in, right? Send them a text message, send them an email, wait some time, send them another text message, send them another email until they respond to you. So those are some things that you can do on that CRM side. There's some Contractor Boost is what we provide our customers in that. You know, there's other systems out there that you can use that to do similar functionality. We think that we've brought it into one place, you know, in a pretty cohesive manner. But Danny, does that help you? Was that helpful?
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, that automation, when someone fills out a form on your website or from an ad, if you don't respond to them within 5 minutes, you have an 80% less chance of getting a hold of them. Not 80% less chance of closing the deal, and 80% less chance of getting a hold of that person, right? So making sure that you're contacting those people within 5 minutes, using automation to do that is extremely helpful in that process. Any other questions? Wayne, was that helpful? Like, there's so many great ways to automate this stuff, right? And you know, if you did display advertising, you could say, hey, you could do retargeting ads, Wayne, with a link to, hey, download the, you know, how to choose the best roofing contractor in your area, right? Like you could run some ads to that and what's cool about retargeting ads is you could develop sequences, right? So that they see this one first. Then if they don't interact with that one, they see the next one, then they see the next one, then they see the next one. So you could create these sequences, right? That maybe the first one is, hey, you visited our website and forgot to book a call or forgot to book an inspection. Then the next one is, here's our guide on how to choose the best roofing contractor in your area. Then the next one, you know, here's our big offer of X amount of dollars off if you choose us, right? Like, so you can create these sequences there's power in that. But first we have to get them to the website, right? Then we want them to convert on the website as much as possible. But if they don't, we're going to follow you around until you do. So any other questions from anyone? Drop it in the chat. Feel free to unmute. If there are no other questions, we'll let you guys go. Reach out to us if you would like help with your digital marketing for your roofing company. This is an ongoing series. We do a webinar per month, getting more detailed on each specific topic. SEO for your website, pay-per-click management, Google local service ads, social media marketing. We have tons of content that comes out. Check out our YouTube channel. There's replays of a lot of our past content on there. Check out the Roofing Success podcast on all podcast platforms and on YouTube if you want to watch the video version. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.